Je vais d'abord un... Oui. Hop, j'ai... Lolo, 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 lolo. Ça, on l'a fait. Du coup, on va éliminer la menace des renégats. Attends, c'est quoi? Trouver et éliminer 2 marines qui se sont fait une réputation d'assassins au Laos, puis quitter la zone. Personne ne est constitué de soldats recrutés sur le terrain par Snake, de volontaires ayant choisi de rejoindre l'organisation. Ok. En plus de mercenaires et de soldats issus divers, une armée guerrière, la MB abrite également des chercheurs et des civils ensemble. Universaliste, libéré des dogmes, des discriminations liées à l'âge, au sexe, nationalité, la race, la retoupée. Éliminer les renégats.
The mission objective is to eliminate 2 U.S. Marines officials.
On retourne là-bas.
The pair were in Laos together,
Ils étaient
but
ensemble à
retired
Laos,
after the
ils ont
U.S.
pris leur
withdrew its
retraite après avoir
forces.
débarqué des
They
Américains.
were a sniper spotter team. In country, they were known as Glaz and Politz.
Ce nom de glace est
The
pas
eye
lisse,
and the
il y a les
finger.
doigts.
I've sent VIs of the targets to your iDroid. Take a good look. I've sent the targets' fields of movement to your iDroid. These are averages worked up from a study by the intel team.
Ok.
Target A, Glaz, the eye.
Glace, ok, un
He
renard.
was stationed in that prison camp before being
C'est
sent
les
to
incidents
Laos.
qui sont mis avant
The
d'être
place is their
envoyés
old
à cet
haunt.
endroit, c'est un peu comme chez lui.
That's target B, Politz, the finger. Apparently he's still
Il
finding uses
semblerait
for his
qu'ils aient
skills,
ses talents
even
même
now that he's
s'ils
out of the
plus
war.
la guerre.
Those nicknames had
Ok.
nothing to do with their skills. It's because the two were less than
C'était
human.
de moins qu'humain.
No heart.
Pas de
Just
cœur,
an eye
juste
to
un
find
œil
their
qui trouve
prey
leur
and a
proie
finger
et un
to
doigt
pull the
appuyé sur la
trigger.
détente.
Remember their faces.
Ok, un renard, un blanc. Ça c'est la zone et ça c'est la deuxième. C'est parti. Pas moyen de changer d'habit. Alors.
Remember, boss, this is a sneaking mission. If you're detected, the targets are bound to take extra precautions. It's crucial that you eliminate the targets quickly and quietly. Do not let the enemy see you.
Ok.
The map has been updated.
Ça fout, ça fout, ça fout.
This job. The clients are KGB contacts from my Columbia days. Don't worry, they had nothing to do with Zadornov. They lost a lot of comrades to the eye and the finger. The NVA lost high-ranking staff too, but also their families, their children. To the east, the two were a reason to be afraid of the dark. Their extradition to face trial is even on the table in the peace talks. Now that they're out of Laos, the two are enjoying a relaxing vacation in a loophole, one surrounded by minefields and barbed wire. Even if the war ends, the East fears their return. For our clients, it will only truly...
Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
C'est pas la cible. Pas caché du tout ici, t'es pas caché du tout ici. C'est bien fait les impacts des balles, j'aime bien. Je veux dire, il est dans cette zone. Ah, c'est lui, hein.
Marker placed. Marker removed.
Avec mon moment. C'est pas lui là? sors d'où toi?
Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
Allez, charge. Charge. Ok. Car j'ai tué 2 renois. C'est pas lui.
Boss, the data I sent earlier was based on the target's known positions at the time. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to clear one of them from your map. According to our intel, the target's on the move and no longer in that area. You'll need to use your own eyes now. But whatever you do, find him.
The map has been updated. Marker placed.
Allez là-bas. Hein.
That's not one of the targets. Keep looking. He's not a target, but he could have valuable information on him. Interrogate him if you get the chance. Boss, we figured out the target's movement pattern. I'm sending you the new model.
The map has been updated.
Viens avec moi. Dommage, t'avais des infos utiles en plus. Zone de déplacement d'acier. Ouais, mais il y en a encore une ici. Il y en a encore une ici. Il y a personne.
That's not one of the targets. Keep looking. The watchtower is the perfect spot for surveying the base. Just don't forget you'll be visible from ground level.
Lui, je veux savoir si c'est un méchant lui.
The watchtower is the perfect spot for surveying the base. Just don't forget you'll be visible from ground level. The watchtower is the perfect spot for surveying the base. Just don't forget you'll be visible from ground level. Boss, the target has left his predicted field of movement. Search somewhere else.
The map has been updated.
CP, this is Delta 2. Taking enemy fire. No item. Delta 2, what's wrong? Come in, Delta 2.
Et où son poteau?
CP, CP, this is Delta 1. Contact to the enemy. Request reinforcements.
J'ai peut-être choisi la méthode bourrin là. C'est vraiment choisi.
Exfiltrate by chopper, or make your way outside the mission area by land.
J'ai choisi la méthode vraiment bourrin. En genre. On a tué les deux cibles en version bourrin là. Allez morceau. Allez mon grand. On y va. C'était vraiment la méthode dure ça. En même temps, il me laisse un BTS comme ça.
Mission complete. Great work, boss. I know our clients are going to be more than satisfied.
Bon, après, pour la discrétion, apparemment, c'est une mission d'infiltration. Me servir d'un blindé pour tuer les cibles. Chaud quand même, t'as vu? Pourquoi ça met écran bleu là? Je pense que le grand zéro est buggé au niveau des lives où il y a des restrictions. Mais en tout cas sur Phantom Pain ça allait très bien, il n'y avait pas d'écran bleu. Et je ferai Phantom Pain, ça c'est sûr. Fait LMB infiltré dans la prison a demandé une évacuation immédiate. Récupérez-le et quittez la zone. Infiltré dans la base. Non, les cibles. C'est secret. Ah non, c'est après c'est la même chose, autant que je fasse Phantom Pain d'un coup et Je vais les faire quand même, je vais les faire quand même. S'il y a une cinématique ou autre. Agent infiltré. Là en fait, Ground Zero c'est sous forme de petites missions. Alors que Phantom Pain c'est vraiment toute l'histoire à fond. Des cartes, une base à gérer, des gens à gérer, des gens à recruter, des gens... de faire des kidnappings. Sauver des otages. Se battre contre des mecs qui veulent ta peau.
Contact with the undercover agent posing as a soldier at the base. He'll pass you a cassette tape containing classified information. Start by taking a look at the agent's VI on your iDroid. Once you've spotted him among the Marines, make contact and get that cassette tape. Thing is, he's not one of us, so don't let your guard down around him. One other thing, boss. I've been told you can also use the watchtower on the west side of the base to contact the target. Just climb up there and turn the searchlight on. Once he sees that, he'll come to you. Once you've identified him, approach him and grab him. That's the contact sign. When you get out of that truck is up to you. Just be sure to take a good look around first. This job, it came through a cutout, but I have a feeling the client is the Joint Chiefs of Staff. After all, the chairman has a lot of faith in you after Peace Walker. In other words, the agent you'll be contacting has been ordered by the nation's highest-ranking military officers to spy on a military base. Turn on that searchlight and the target should come to you. Not your everyday story, but there's more to it than that. That base doesn't follow American, Cuban, or any other law. Somebody wants themselves a place where they can interrogate POWs as they please without being held to the Geneva Convention. A black site. Vietnam is dragging on. The tide has turned against the U.S. and military is exhausted. The CIA is in the same boat, only they've taken advantage of the situation by trying to build this convenient little safe house on the Cuban coast. But a plan of this insanity would never get rubber stamped by the JCS. An official proposal has been submitted, but it only makes mention of expanding the refugee camps. Something is going on in Cuba's little America, far away from the eyes of Washington. And the truth behind it all should be on that cassette tape.
Opening front gate.
After identifying the target, approach him and grab him. That's the contact sign. Just make sure you wait until there aren't any other soldiers around.
Nord-ouest. Un mirador de ce côté-là.
Where could the agent be? Those are U.S. Marines on watch, not the type to go easy on intruders. Take a look at the target's face on your iDroid so you'll know him when you see him. Open the menu tab, then select Mission Info. It's a metal drum. They must use their color to tell them apart. That one being filled with gasoline.
Je crois que c'est lui. En vrai de vrai, je pense que c'est lui. A bien la gueule de l'apprenti. Oh, c'est peut-être pas lui. C'est peut-être vraiment pas lui. Eh mon gars.
Spit it out. Speak.
The map has been updated.
Speak.
Marker placed.
Je pense que c'est lui, j'ai pas vu d'autre narrateur.
That searchlight's manually operated. Watch that searchlight. There he is. That guy's the target. Make contact with him while he's still by himself. Approach him and grab him.
Spit it out.
You're here for... No!
On n'est pas seul là, on n'est pas seul frère.
I put everything on a tape. I don't have it on me. It's in the central control tower. Edge of the admin building sector. I needed to stash it. Had eyes on me, and these guys, they don't work for Langley. He's...
Ok.
You know... Huh? Forget it. You watch your ass too. All right. Come on, do it.
You better keep moving, boss. Confirm the location of the central control tower. It's marked on your map. There's the place. The cassette tape is supposed to be at the central control tower.
Ok. Elle est dans la tour. Alors j'espère qu'on peut monter à la tour par ici. Je passe en dessous. Allez là-bas, ok. C'est parti. On va tout faire, Grand Zéro.
Takes care of the tape. Time to get out of there.
Mission, please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger that chopper request. It's headed your way now. Sneak out in the back of a truck. Hell, steal a car and smash right through one of the exits if you feel like it.
Je suis là, Morpho, je suis là. Je suis là, Morpho. Morpho. Morpho, wesh.
Making forced landing. Stand by. CP, this is Zulu 4. Hostile is an enemy. Checking this point of contact. Over.
Allez, on se casse.
I gotta pull out.
Allez, bisous les mecs.
Retrieval complete. Great work as usual, boss.
Et bien ainsi de ce... Je sais pas ce qu'il y a avec les cinématiques. Je pense que Grand Zéro est buggé avec YouTube. Il y a un truc comme ça. J'avais trouvé des documents importants. Bon, moi, ce qui est bien, là, c'est juste un petit détail, mais au moins avec Phantom Pain, il n'y aura pas les petits bugs comme ça. Ça va mettre écran bleu. Ça c'est fait, ça c'est fait. Ça c'est fait. Contacter agent sur la cassette. J'en ai loupé. Ça c'est fait, ça c'est fait. Non, je crois que j'ai fait lui. On va voir. Ça c'est simple, détruire les postes anti-aériens. Ça va être simple. Je vais prendre le gros. Ça va être rapide. Je vais prendre le gros BTS là. Le petit blindé. Je vais détruire les 3. Et je vais vite partir en hélico. Et Phantom Pain n'est pas organisé comme ça en mode si tu choisis une mission, etc. Non, c'est toute une histoire. Tu vas à ta base quand tu veux, tu choisis la mission que tu veux. T'as pas un choix de mission, tu peux faire n'importe laquelle.
Boss, this mission comes from none other than the JCS. A MAGTAM will very shortly conduct a heliborne assault on that base. Their objective is to seize control of it, and the one thing that could get in their way is the base's anti-air defenses.
D'accord.
You need to take out the anti-air emplacements. Doesn't have to be all of them. Destroying 3 will allow the assault force to land. Once their destruction is confirmed, military choppers will descend on the base and the Marines will begin their assault. They don't know you're there, so you need to exfiltrate before they arrive.
Je peux le détruire comment? Je peux... J'ai besoin du BTS pour le tuer, non? Je peux pas le détruire comme ça, Manu. Je veux dire...
C4 is an explosive that can be placed, and then you place some C4. Get to a safe distance before detonating it. The enemies noticed the amphibious assault ship carrying the heliborne force. That's sooner than expected. Watch yourself. The enemy will stay on full alert from now on.
On fait ça bien vite.
Target destroyed. Excellent work. Keep it up. CP, this is Delta 9. Any installations been target destroyed. That was smooth, boss. Real smooth. I'd expect nothing less. Check it out immediately. Give us a out. Boss, there's an armored vehicle headed your way, and its cannon will be a threat to the choppers. You'll have to eliminate that too.
Quoi? Non, c'était pas prévu ça. C'était pas prévu ça. Détruire le véhicule blindé.
Wait, there's something there. Did they set a trap? Look around carefully.
CP, this is Zulu 6. We got a body here. Be on the lookout for intruders. Over. This is CP. Understood. Titan security is find the intruder. Out. CP, this is Delta 3. We got a body here. Be on the lookout for intruders. Over. This is CP. Understood.
Ce qui fait un tour.
Losses are unacceptable. Keep your eyes open.
S'il fait un tour, je vais poser des C4 sur la route.
CP, this is Delta 1. We got a body here. Be on the lookout for intruders. Over. This is CP. Understood. All fire teams check your surroundings. Flush out the intruder. Out.
Tiens, reviens. Non, je me chicane. Non.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Je me chicane, je me chicane. Je pense que je vais direct voler un blindé.
Target destroyed. That was smooth, boss. Real smooth. I'd expect nothing less. Boss, there's an armored vehicle headed your way, and its cannon will be a threat to the choppers. You'll have to eliminate that too.
CP, this is Delta 1. We got a body here. Be on the lookout for intruders. Over. This is CP. Understood. Titan security is find the intruder. Out. CP, this is Zulu 2. Heard an explosion. Location unclear. Over. This is CP. Capture!
You're low on explosives. How about some OSP? All right, you've destroyed the targets. The heliborne assault will commence now. You need to exfil the... What is... You gotta be kidding me. Boss, radar's picked up unidentified aircraft. 2 of them. They're headed your way. Speed 500. Most likely attack... aircraft. 3 minutes until arrival. I don't know what this is about, but I don't like the timing. Get out of there ASAP. I have a bad feeling about this. Shortly at LZ.
CP, this is Zulu 7. No sign of the enemy. Searching the area.
Oh là.
Who the hell was behind that airstrike? That may not have gone as planned, but we fulfilled our end of the bargain. Good work, boss. Come on home.
On ne sait toujours pas qui a envoyé ces avions attaquer la base. La seule chose qu'on peut dire... Ouais, c'est l'écran bleu. Le jeu, il est bugué sur YouTube. Grande zéro, pas Phantom Pain. Mais quelqu'un aux États-Unis voulait que personne ne découvre l'existence de cette base. Quand on y pense, tout a fonctionné comme il le voulait. Comment ça, top secret? Bon bah on va... Mais on va sur Phantom Pain les frères. On va sur Phantom Pain. Il y a un let's play déjà, là les cinématiques du début, je vais juste les passer les frères. Il y a déjà une vidéo qui est disponible sur Phantom Pain. Le début de tout ce que je vais passer, il y a tout qui est en vidéo. Il y a juste un moment que je serai théoriquement. Tu vas voir le mec qui se fait égorger, ça va pas être flouté. Je pense que c'est le jeu Grande Zéro qui bug avec YouTube.
Mayday! Mayday! Controls unresponsive. Tower, do you read? Shit. Comms are down.
La radio est morte.
Who is me?
Prologue le réveil.
Who is me? Can you hear me?
Oui, je t'entends mon copain, ça va faire la 3e fois que je te vois mourir.
Can you move your head?
Oui.
Just nod if you can hear me. Look up, please. Very.
Je sais. Castle pour la 3e fois. Là au moins, je sais que ça va pas bugger, on aura la suite normale les frères. Et demain je pourrais faire la partie 2 du coup.
How do you feel?
Toi tranquille hein. Écoute, toi tu vas te faire trancher la gorge. Et toi aussi. Tout ça il est déjà en vidéo les frères, hein, au cas où si vous débarquez et que vous... Je l'avais en CD sauf que ça buguait, du coup j'ai acheté en Store. Ah, c'est là qu'elle va se faire égorger, je suis pas sûr. Je vais voir si ça met écran bleu ou pas. C'est assez quand même, ça fait vraiment égorger la gorge quoi. Ah je sais ouais.
Otherwise, I fear you won't leave this place alive.
Oh ouais, je sais, avec ton petit
It's a
accent
wide
russe.
open world out there, so there's something we need to take
Nous
care of
devons nous
first.
occuper d'une chose avant tout le reste. Oui, mon visage, ok. Elle se fait pas égorger maintenant. Donc j'avais pris lui. Tac, coiffure militaire. Ça, c'était le deuxième. Là, la stache mou. En 2. Ça bouge pas. Les yeux. Tac, 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 tac. À gauche, bim. Tac. Voilà, nez, on touche pas. Couleur de peau. On touche pas. Ride. Hop. Et j'avais mis la cicatrice ici.
Very good. Now let's remove these bandages. Your face
C'est là
has
qu'elle va
healed
se faire
nicely.
égorger.
To tell you the truth, these bandages were more for your protection, to hide you from those who want you
Qu'est-ce
dead.
que ouais, la meuf là derrière.
As of today, your name is Ahab. Forget everything. Your name,
Allez, je vais.
your
Oh, je
past.
vous donne, j'arrive.
This is you, as you've lived until this day. Tomorrow, it becomes a phantom.
Not yet. The patient in the next bed saw my face.
we're getting out of here. Move it.
Help me, please.
Don't get caught in those searchlights. Shit! It's ugly down there. Turn back.
You hear that?
What's going on out there?
Hey! Huh? Proszę.
Okay. Hey!
Hey! Hey!
I can't see what's happening.
What is that?
What's happening out there? Does anybody know?
Hey!
You hear them coming?
Anything?
Negative. He came in here. Keep looking.
We're sitting ducks. Blend in with the bodies. Get down on your stomach and crawl. If you move, we're done for. Play dead. Hold on. We better stop and treat that injury. Yeah. Hold down the aim button to aim. Then press the attack button to fire. Destroy it. Hold on. Take the left.
this! Watch our backs! Shoot him! Fire! Get him? We shook him off.
The name's Ocelot. Big boss. You know who I am. A certain man gave me a job to do. Two, actually. First was to get you out of that hospital. The second was to rescue the man himself. You remember? Your partner 9 years ago, Kazuhira Miller. 9 years back, your private army came under attack by Cypher. You were considered dead. Until today, that is, when Cypher found you. And it's not just them. The whole world wants you dead. You'll have to join up with Miller. Build that private army of yours one more time. It's your only chance. First, we need to save Miller. He's in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
What, you can't keep up with world affairs in a coma? 4 years ago, the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. The Muslims are fighting back with Western support. Miller was training Mujahideen rebels when he was captured by the Soviets. The Red's 40th Army. Troop strength somewhere around 100,000. The squad holding Miller set off near the Pakistan border yesterday. Now in 3 days, they'll reach the Soviet garrison. They'll be interrogated for a few more days, and it's off to a lager. Or left to rot in a ditch on Afghan soil. I give him 2 weeks. The job didn't mean anything to Miller. He only took it on to keep you safe. Well, there's our ride. It's a whaling ship. Had a pretty good deal on her once the IWC started raising a stink. Now it's 7 days to Port Qasim, another 3 overland. So we won't have much time once we're there. Don't take too long getting used to your new self. Hang on. Ha! The area ahead is under total Soviet control. Miller's been captive for 10 days. Not much time left.
Weather will clear shortly.
Storm's passing. Getting used to it? After 9 years on ice, solo infiltration of the Soviet main ground forces should be the perfect warm-up. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your eye drone. You see Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is, we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority. Go ahead and close the eye drone. Got your binoculars? Or should I say, your int scope? See the village? Straight ahead? To the right. Look up. To the right. All right. That's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village. The Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army. A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dawandehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there. It's worth a shot. Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is. Good. Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way. He can't have much left in him. I give him 3 days, tops. If we fail, and he dies, we lose our chance of revenge. But we need more intel. If you just go charging into Dawandehar, you'll be putting both your lives at risk. See what you can find out first. The Soviets have other outposts, not just the one you saw. Afghanistan is a big place. I expect you'll become quite familiar with those binoculars as you plan your next move. How and where you make it, well, that's up to you. From here on out, you're on your own. You're a legend in the eyes of those who live on the battlefield. That's why you have to handle this mission yourself. Put those 9 years behind you, and return as Big Boss. That's how Koss would want it. I'll be sending additional intel by radio. Stay sharp. Not one of Miller's bodyguards survived. And they were good. All we found on the scene were their corpses and knees. You'll be missing them. And you're his only hope of getting them back. Now go! Let the legend come back to life.
Boss, your mission is to rescue the target Kazuhira Miller, the man you called your partner 9 years ago. Miller was training guerrilla rebels near the Pakistani border when he was captured by the Soviets. He's currently being held at Dawandehar, Rescue Miller from the Soviet troops and extract him by chopper. It's time to prove to the world you're the real big boss.
The target is Kazuhira Miller, your old... The target is Kazuhira Miller, your old partner. He was captured by the Soviets and is being held at 1 day. He's gonna look a lot worse than that photo, but I'm sure you'll know him when you see him.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that. You were hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain.
Why Dikelia?
The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dikelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Dikelia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames. And then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships?
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We've got to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
We continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter-strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It's gonna be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, The United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics?
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire.
A second Cold War.
And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes.
Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs.
Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years.
We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed.
The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity.
Private forces?
Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but...
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base, that would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home.
You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. It was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on.
A prosthetic arm.
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
Huh. I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand.
Yeah.
What about your vision? Can you see okay?
Yeah, at the moment.
Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex.
Yeah, the doctor mentioned that.
Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, or not see things as they really are. You experience any of that?
I think so.
When?
Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that.
I will.
All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get. It's up to you whether to slip by enemies or take them down. Just remember that any situation can change fast. Familiarize yourself with your weapons and items while you can. You need to be able to switch between them quickly to meet any threat.
Yeah.
Hold it. There's a Soviet guard post. They're bound to be guards. Take a look with your binoculars. Put the enemy in the center of your field of view. A portable toilet. If you're gonna hide inside, watch the enemy doesn't decide to use it. Same goes for hiding downed enemies in it. Hiding on horseback allows you to stay out of sight even while on the move. It's effective for avoiding enemy guard posts and long-range reconnaissance patrols. A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dewandehar. The transport log might...